Hey y'all, my name is Adina Barnett Miller, but I'm known to my students as Mrs. B. I've been passionate about West Virginia history for as long as I can remember, but my mom would tell you it all started when I was 3 years old and she bought me a West Virginia counties puzzle at Gino's Pizza. I've taught history in Ripley, West Virginia for over 20 years now, and I'm an adjunct professor who teaches college West Virginia history to high school students. Please join me for West Virginia History with Mrs. B, a field trip across the Mountain State to walk in the footsteps of those who came before us. Hey y'all, it's West Virginia History with Mrs. B, and today we are in Elizabeth, which is the county seat of Wirt County. And so we are with the historical sign here about the town of Elizabeth. This sign is located on the courthouse lawn, and it says Elizabeth was settled by William Beecham in 1796, and it's going to be named for the wife of David Beecham. David Beecham is William's son, and he was actually a minister. He was the first Methodist minister here in what will become Wirt County, and so they're going to name the town he's going to name the town, or the community is going to name his town for his wife. It says, near here in 1752, Christopher Gist paced a marker for the Ohio Company to colonize the western lands, of course, which was halted by the French and Indian War. So let's look at the courthouse here. This is the second Wirt County Courthouse. The first one, which was designed by U.S. Senator Peter Van Winkle, burned to the ground in 1909, and so they're going to rebuild this beautiful structure here in 1911. So it's another one of those small courthouses that, like, you think this is the perfect courthouse. When you think of a West Virginia courthouse, this is what should come to mind. And so this building has been here since 1911. Elizabeth is a small county seat. It has about a little under 700 residents, but it is not the smallest county seat in West Virginia. It ranks 47th out of the 55 county seats here in West Virginia. So let's go take a closer look. This is one of two mountain howitzers that is on the grounds of the Wirt County Courthouse. As you can see here, GAR 1914. The Civil War generation was growing old, and so they wanted to establish monuments, pro-union monuments on courthouse lawns. And so this is going to be the monument that is placed here in Elizabeth in Wirt County. GAR stands for Grand Army of the Republic. That was the Union veterans group that formed at the end of the Civil War. So there's one cannon here, and you can see over there the matching cannon that goes along with this one. So if you look at the top pediment of the courthouse, you're going to see there is a little cameo up there. Do you see it? That is William Wirt, which is the namesake of Wirt County. He was a judge, a famous judge. He actually will be a candidate for the presidency on the anti-Masonic ticket in the 1830s. But he was a well-known individual from Virginia history. This county became a county before the Civil War happened, so that's why the Virginia name is going to stick to this county, as someone from Eastern Virginia having a Western Virginia county named for it. I also wanted to show you all the other war memorial that is here on the courthouse lawn. Is the honor roll from Wirt County for World War I, and you can see here all of the names from Wirt County of individuals who fought on behalf of the United States during World War I. And this was put here in 1941, which of course is when the United States enters World War II. So there are no other war memorials here on the courthouse lawn. But this is just, I think, picturesque. It's beautiful. It is, as I've said about other courthouses, I think what our founders intended our courthouse lawns to look like. This is a beautiful space that has been here almost 200 years. This courthouse, of course, was built in 1911, so a little over 100 years, but I think that it'll be here for generations to come. because you can tell that it is well beloved by the residents of Wirt County. Wirt County is a small county today. It is the smallest county of all 55 counties population wise. There are less than 5,000 people who live in all of Wirt County today, but Elizabeth is that center of this county. It's a small town, but this is where people come to participate in community events. This is where all the schools are, and so Wirt County, if you come here, there are no 4-lane roads. There are no Walmarts. There are no fast food restaurants. This is a place to come and remember an earlier way of living, where you're more tied to your family and to your community instead of what's happening on the outside. We are going to take you on a driving tour of Elizabeth so you can see the town, so stay tuned. Hey y'all, we are now in the car. There's Dave.
Hey.
It is 93 degrees, if you can see that. It is hot, y'all. So we are going to take you on a driving tour of downtown Elizabeth to see its history, so stay tuned. All right, we're pulling out. Historically significant houses in Wirt County. This is the Beecham house. Remember, the Beechams are going to be the first settlers in Wirt County, and this is their home, and this is where the first county court was held when the county was first established. And so this is a historic landmark as well. This was the Little Canal Hotel that was built here almost 200 years ago. There's some orange and black, Dave.
I wonder what that could be.
I wonder what that could be. Because when you think orange and black in West Virginia, one of those places that you think about is
Summers County High School. No, wait, South Charleston High School. Oh, Wirt County High School.
Yeah, Wirt County High School. Sorry, when you live in my neck of the woods, the first thing you think of is Wirt County and Wirt County High School. Just so much pride that they have in their school and their county.
They love their tigers.
They love their tigers. Well, there's not a lot going on exciting in Wirt County. This is, like we said, a very rural county. This is Wirt County High School that we are driving past. There are only 3 schools here in Wirt County. There is Wirt County Elementary, Wirt County Middle, and Wirt County High. And so this is Wirt County High School. And there's the community library right in front of the high school. And so you can see it is a building that has been built onto over time. They're the home of the Tigers. They love Wirt County. It's like the perfect place where people are so proud of their school. They're so proud of their community, and you know, almost every person here is from here. This is a commitment to live here. Oh, look how pretty those paintings are. Here's the football stadium, and so there's just so much pride in being a Wirt County Tiger. I have a lot of respect for their traditions and heritages over here. And if you play midget league football in Jackson County in Ripley, you have to drive over here to play football, because we were in their same conference. Now, Wirt County, like we said, only 5,000 people. It's extremely rural. It is one of those counties in West Virginia where the largest employer in the county is the Board of Education. And so, you know, if you want a good paying job with stability and you don't want to leave the county, Wirt County Schools is it. As well as there are some healthcare jobs and things here in Elizabeth as well. But you know, there are folks that are still doing agriculture, but if you want a job in other capacities, more than likely you're going to have to drive either to Jackson County or to Wood County. So you can take State Route 14, which comes through Elizabeth, and drive over to Mineral Wells and then on to Parkersburg. So we are actually going to hop right out here onto State Route 14 and drive you through the rest of the town.
I think we'll go north first.
I think that's a good call. It's not too far on the north portion. But see, everybody waves. It's very Jackson County, this part of the world. Everybody waves at everybody else. It's how you can spot outsiders because they don't wave back. There's the Methodist Church. Again, there have been Methodist congregation in Elizabeth since I think 1799. So a long time, a long tradition of Methodist here in Elizabeth. So this is the main drag. This is State Route 14. And as you can see, there's not a lot of businesses here in Elizabeth. There is a Dollar General. There is a Calhoun Bank branch. And you know, every little community has a Dollar General and a Advanced Auto. Those are the big two. They also have a Piggly Wiggly, which is very helpful because you gotta be able to get your groceries. And I don't know if you noticed that sign said it was 20 miles to Parkersburg from here. So not too far, but 14's pretty curvy. Do you want to turn in here on the other side of the park? Because I think this is about the end of town right here.
Yeah.
So you've got Wirt County EMS and the recycling center. And then this is the park here in Elizabeth. They have that cute little stage down there, and you can see, if you drive straight, there is the little canal, which goes all around Elizabeth. Alright, so we got a little bit of traffic here. And when we see traffic, we mean 3 cars for Wirt County. Okay, so we're good this way. So you can pull out. Alright, so now you can see, I love the signs into Elizabeth. So I'm really glad you get to see these. So you can see there's the green sign, home of Jessica Lynch. You can see all that Wirt County pride. Look at all of those state titles in different sports.
A lot of those are for
volleyball, wrestling. They have some football championships. So Wirt County's always had, I think, for a really long time anyway, right? Just Wirt County High School.
Mm-hmm.
And they've always been in the smallest class of the 3-class system. They'll be in the smallest class in the new 4-class system. And so, again, people have so much pride in their community that a lot of folks engage in athletics all through school, and so they have a proud athletic tradition over here. Dave, you called a Wirt County game, right?
Yeah, I did the broadcast of the Bahama Wirt County game back in December, actually the weekend before Christmas. And the school being not too far from the courthouse, as I drove by, it was all decked out for the holiday. I mean, they had the lights around the clock tower. They had a lot of decoration on the grounds. It's really a sight to see in the winter.
So what was it like coming over here to go to a game? What was the atmosphere like?
There were a lot of supporters of the Tigers there, and they were loud, they were vocal, and it's a tiny little gym that they have there. And I think that just reflects the fact that Wirt County is, again, a relatively small school here in the state of West Virginia, but they still managed to get a lot of folks in there, and of course folks from Mason County making the trip to support Wahama as well. So
Right.
it's a nice little atmosphere. If you get the opportunity, go check them out, the Wirt County Tiger basketball team.
So Town Hall is down there. So we are still on State Route 14. You can see some of these houses have a lot of age on them. And they of course have the American flags out because we're right around Independence Day right now. We are taking a Saturday drive. And so we are going to stay on 14, but the road's 5. If you take that towards Grantsville, that'll take you out to the community of Burning Springs. So for us, if you take 14, it'll end up eventually, you'll go through Reedy and then into Spencer, and I have driven that road, and as my family would say, as crooked as a dog's leg. But this is a nice little drive. We're actually going to take the back roads back to Jackson County from here. So you can see 14 miles to Reedy, 20 miles to Spencer. So there's the Catholic Church as we slowly drive out of Elizabeth. That's a pretty house. So Dave, how many times have you been to Elizabeth in your life?
I think this is my 4th time in Elizabeth.
Yeah, I probably can count on less than 2 hands how many times I've driven over here. And it's not that far. It's less than an hour from where we live in Jackson County. You usually just got to have a reason why to drive over here because, again,
Right.
those roads are pretty crooked. But, you know, if you're looking for a great little day drive with some beautiful scenery, Route 14 from Parkersburg to Spencer is a beautiful drive. Now we're coming over, this is not a mountain, but it is a hill, and this road is kind of, would you say it's kind of sketchy right here?
I wouldn't say it's sketchy. I'd say it's definitely windy and could use, a little fine tuning.
Yeah, because there's some slips. I think that's what's more anything is the road is slipping on that left-hand side. But for Wirt County, this is the main drag through Wirt County. There are no 4-lane roads in Wirt County.
Mm-hmm.
There are no stoplights that I know of in Wirt County.
That was another thing I was going to mention at the courthouse when you were talking about the things in this county or that they don't have.
Yeah. There are no stoplights in Wirt County. There are no stoplights, as you could see as we drove through Elizabeth. So, but it just harkens back to a earlier time in life, a simpler time in life. I always think when I come over here that this is what Jackson County had to have been like pre-plant and pre-interstate. Because Ripley was a very sleepy little town with not that many people until both Kaiser and the interstate I-77 came through. So this is, it is a interior county. It is not a border county. This county, Wirt County, is bordered by, like I said, Jackson, Wood,
Ritchie, Calhoun, and Roan.
Yeah, Calhoun and Roan. So it has a lot of different points around it, and some of those counties are just as rural and isolated as this one. For example, Calhoun it's very similar to this. Would you agree, Dave?
Right. I think that the only difference, Grantsville, they do have a stoplight, but it's one of the old single, one side's flashing yellow, the other side's flashing red. There at the intersection of state routes 5 and 16.
But that's it. That is it. And so if you want to see what it's like to live in a rural agricultural county in West Virginia, I think you know, Wirt County is very accessible because you can get off of I-77 at Mineral Wells, and it's less than 20 miles to Elizabeth. So it's not too far out of the way. I don't think a lot of people make the drive here, but they should, because it's just, you know, beautiful rolling farmland that borders the Little Canal River. So we are driving into the unincorporated community of Palestine, and this is the home of Jessica Lynch. For those of you old enough to remember, Jessica Lynch was held as a prisoner of war during the Second Iraq War in 2003, and she was held, do you remember how long that was, Dave? Over a month, right?
In that neighborhood.
Yeah, and she was our age, so she was a Wirt County High School graduate who joined the military, and she was stationed in Iraq, and the
Humvee she was riding in
was attacked, and she survived, but then she was taken as a prisoner of war, and she was tortured and survived. And so she was famous nationally. She's still very famous here in West Virginia. So this is just beautiful farmland and country. I hope you have enjoyed this tour and visit to Wirt County. Thank you so much for joining us here in Wirt County and in the county seat of Elizabeth. Our goal is to make it to all 55 county seats and to give you a tour of those county seats and to show you their courthouses. So stay tuned. It's going to take us some time, but we're excited to be part of this process. So thanks for tuning in to West Virginia History with Mrs. B. Thanks y'all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to West Virginia History with Mrs. B on both Facebook and YouTube.